Hey guys, Dylan from Noble Records coming at you with another video. This is your latest edition of Heavy Rotation. Didn't do one last week. Had a crazy week. Had to price a bunch of records. And it was also mine and my wife's anniversary, so I kind of took the week off, except for Saturday. And so just kind of spent some time at home and kind of took a step back a little bit. So it's always good to do that from time to time. But I did not take a step back from listening to music and acquiring things. It's funny how that works. But anyway, so I'm going to go through some stuff I've been listening to, some stuff I've been finding, and we're going to talk about box sets. So buckle up. Let's go. First one, I bet you could probably guess what this is going to be. Tom Petty Wildflowers. I've been listening to this a lot lately. I did, my last video was the unboxing of the Super Deluxe 9LP box set, which is actually still at the shop. I left it there because I listened to it all weekend, so I got through the whole thing a couple times. And my guys that work at the shop really want to hear the extra stuff. I don't like transporting it back and forth too much, but box sets, a lot can go wrong. So I did not do that. So I haven't brought it home yet, but when I bring it home, it'll stay here. But so this is actually my copy that is that came from the box set, the 2015 Tom Petty box set. But I just wanted to be able to show you something and not just be a record in theory. But the 9LP box set I've been listening to a lot lately. It's very, very well put together, I think. As I've had some time to listen to it and do some more research and stuff, you know, I think that what's really cool about it, so you got the 3LP, which is Wildflowers, and all the rest is the rest of the album. That's the rest that Tom Petty wasn't able to put out because the label told him he had to stick to one CD. So the rest of the stuff is really good. There's some really strong songs in there. I imagine that was a really tough call to make, to cut those songs, because man, it's just he's a great songwriter. He's phenomenal. I mean, somebody that's been on the road that much and played with so many incredible musicians has to be. But man, I've been kind of in a Tom Petty Wildflowers bubble over the past week. But the Broken Record podcast, I talk about that all the time. I love that podcast. It's incredible. But they did a couple podcast episodes this week about Tom Petty and Wildflowers. One was with Tom Petty's daughter. One was with one of his bandmates. So just really good coverage talking about just everything that was surrounding this album. Really cool stuff. But to hear his daughter talk about it, I think impacted me more than anything. Just because she talks about just her relationship with her dad and how Tom Petty, she always saw him reading things and he was always growing and always, you know, he seems like one of those people that was just infinitely wise and like incredible. I mean, I know everyone has their flaws, but he just seems like somebody who's almost supernaturally amazing. So it kind of gives you something to shoot for, you know, to really how it's cool to hear it from her perspective and how a kid sees how we act as adults, you know, and our habits and things. So that kind of impacted me on a personal level, just to maybe try harder to be more present and work harder at self-care and growth, to teach my kids how to do those things as well. So anyways, that's far off the beaten path. But Wildflowers, if you haven't heard the album, I've talked to a couple people this weekend that's never heard of the album. I know I say this a lot, but this over the past few years, this has moved up into my probably top 3 favorite albums. It's that good. So listen to it. And all the rest is really good too. So highly recommend that. So we'll move on. I talk about Tom Petty way too much here lately. This is probably one of the second most album I've been listening to lately. This is Cesar Frazier. This is a phenomenal record. 75 is what it's called. Funk It Down is a track on here that is just like, whew. But this whole album, it is soul jazz funk, you know, is what they call it. But it is, man, it's some funky stuff, but it's just so good. Cesar Frazier, his more popular one's called Hail Caesar. That's one I really am looking for. I'd love to have. But this is also really hard to find. Some say harder to find than Hail Caesar, but this is a really, really great record. His stuff is just phenomenal. So I've been grooving on this. Probably listened to this 10 times this week. It's so good. So that one's Cesar Frazier. Really good record. along the same lines, but not really. I'm trying to stay in sequential order. This Willie Colon, The Big Break, is a really cool record. This is like Latin. So there's some killer Latin beat and groove stuff in here. Just it has its moments, but some of it's better than others, but this is for the most part a really, really good record as far as like Latin stuff goes. I discovered this week and just been all over it, listening to it. Great stuff. I've got some other stuff like that. Hey, let's transition over to this one here. Try to keep things. This one's a Potluck Spooner Oldham. Kind of a funky record. The first half is not nearly as good as the second half. Second half is crazy. Second half, like there's even like it's funky at times, and there's also like a bluegrass breakout. It's weird, but it's really, really good. So just found this record yesterday and listened to it a couple times a day. Really, really good. This is kind of a rare prog folk type of fusion record. Pavel Dissing and Burning Red Ivanhoe. The name of the record, there's no way I could pronounce it. It's some really, really, really long name. But anyways, pretty cool record. This one is a really rare 71 original pressing. But yeah, this is a really cool record. It's a little bit weird, but that's a cool one. Just recently got that one. This is another one I've been looking for. The Carol and Hester Collation magazine. This is folk psych with some really cool female vocal stuff in it, but also some really strong fuzz guitar. So I don't want to bore you, but this is it's a white label promo. I don't want to bore you too much just sharing facts, but this is just facts. It's a good record, really cool record. Carol and Hester is has a few really good ones in the psych community. This is one I wasn't really aware of, but I was looking at this label, this is it Gerson label that it's on. I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know how to pronounce anything. But this is Toppyman. Really cool hard rock record. I don't know a lot about it, like I said, but ordered it because it was on this label, and this label puts out a lot of really good reissues of like hard rock and early psych stuff, and this is right down that alley of the early psychedelic hard rock stuff that's just killer. But that's a really cool record I just got. So we're gonna take a little bit of a left turn here. Well, let's back up a little bit. Let's back up a bit. Y'all don't switch the channel yet. This is another one. This is it's described on Discogs as funk disco, but this has some killer breaks on it. It's a promo copy. I'm sure I'm saying his name wrong, but I'm not going to say it. You could just look at it. But this really cool record. I found it in a collection a couple weeks ago, and I've been listening to it here and there in the shop. Really cool one. And then this is one that I also found. An original Soul Train Prestige. Pretty decent shape the record is. The cover has a little bit of water damage, but a friend brought it in and traded it in for some cleaner jazz. So that's one I've been grooving on, jiving on. Let's talk box sets for a second, okay? Box sets I've had a dilemma with lately. A lot of really cool box sets are coming out, as usual. I have a moral dilemma because a lot of them seem to be a money grab, but also really cool. So it's like that's the whole dilemma of the record store day. The one that I got, the Tom Petty box set, didn't even think about it. I just got it because it's one of those records. It's one of my favorites. Like the Funhouse box set. Everyone said I was crazy for buying it. I bought it. I love it. It's gone way up in value. And hey, there's only 1,970 of them. They're limited, and I love it. It's really cool. For me, I like hearing the outtakes and stuff. This is one that just came out that I had to get. It's another one. They're making stuff I can't resist, guys. This Black Sabbath Paranoid Super Deluxe box set. And honestly, it wasn't that expensive. These are like $100. So it wasn't that bad for what it is, I don't think. So LP1 is the original 2012 remaster of the album. LP2 is a quadrum disc mix that they folded down into stereo, which is pretty cool. But what really got me here is is the LP3, 4, and 5. So LP3 is Live in Monterey 1970. LP4 is a continuation of that, 1970. And Live in Brussels 1970, and LP5 is the continuation of Live in Brussels 1970. So I'm going to go ahead and unbox this for you. I didn't want to do an unboxing video just for this, but that's the box. It's heavy duty. It's a heavy box. This is, let's show you. So there's a book, like a hardback book, just like it was in the Wildflowers I showed you guys. And I haven't even looked through this book yet. It's big surprise. It's got pictures and words. Yeah, some like newspaper clippings and stuff. Pretty cool. I'll have to sit back and read it. I just opened it today to listen to it. But this is the kicker. The one that really got me was this. This is the live triple LP. It's like a bootleg or something all on its own, but it's not. I mean, I'm telling you, I listened to this today, and the live stuff is just dynamite. Sounds amazing. I had it on in the shop today. So on Sundays, our neighbor in the shop, we have somebody that's on the other, like, we're in like a strip mall type situation. So we have a neighbor that we share a wall with. I try to be considerate, you know, during the week and not play music too loud. Now I will crank some tunes, but on Sundays when they're not there, I really get crazy. And I put this on today, and I was smoking it in there. It was seriously good. This is this is another like little Black Sabbath pamphlet. So if you want to, you know, read some more about Black Sabbath, I should have read this before I started talking about it. This is a poster. Ooh, it looks cool too. Shall we open? Yes, we shall. Try not to tear it up. Ooh, that's cool. Very, very cool. You can't see it. So that's the poster. And then this is the quad and the regular mix. So I haven't listened to those yet. I'm gonna wait till I'm home alone and no one will be too disturbed by my Black Sabbath, and so I can blare it here soon in the near future. I like to do that, as we do from time to time, not to, you know, upset the children. So anyway, so that's my dilemma with the box sets. I mean, I know they're a money grab, but if they're worth it, I'll get it. If they're not, I won't. So I've gotten a couple box sets lately. I got the Bob Marley, the Zippo one that opens up and it has all their studio albums, all Bob Marley and the Wailers studio albums. And then I've got the Eric Clapton, has like a bunch of his studio albums. I don't know how many, but it's like a numbered box set. And I sold a lot of my Eric Clapton albums earlier on, so I kind of feel like I could just take that and, you know. So another one I got, someone traded this in the other day. This is the Electric Ladyland box set. It's got, you know, the Electric Ladyland album in it. And then the other set is, it's a 2 LP, At Last, The Beginning, The Making of Electric Ladyland, Early Outtakes, and then Live at the Hollywood Bowl, 1970 or 1968. And so it's kind of cool. I haven't even opened this yet. It's got CD, and then it's got like a booklet, and then it's got the LP. So that's the live show. I was trying to contemplate whether or not I was going to keep this, but now that I'm opening it, I'm realizing that I'm definitely keeping it. Really cool. That's the outtakes, At Last, The Beginning, and then this is the regular album, but it has a really cool texture to it. I don't know. This is a really cool set, and I'm like a Hendrix fanatic, so I'll definitely keep that. Alex traded it in. Alex, thank you, man. If you're watching this, I appreciate it, and I'm keeping it. So when I make these moves, it sounds like that's just the leather, okay? It's just the leather. I'm gonna zip through a few real quickies here. This Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble. This is The Fire Meets the Fury, 1989, of the live radio broadcast. It's an unofficial bootleg, but any live Stevie Ray Vaughan I can get, I'd take. And so this one, I got a few in the shop, and one somehow ended up at home with me. This Thievery Corporation. So the last sealed, a few of these are from the sealed collection I got. I got a ton of sealed stuff, a ton of newer stuff. This is one, I saw that cover and I was like, man, that looks really good. It just looks, and it sounds about how it looks. Some killer dub reggae with hip hop fused in there is really good. I've never heard of Thievery Corporation, but this did not disappoint. This is really cool. If that seems like your thing, check this out. It's a really cool record, and I had to keep it because of that. This is one I just didn't have. There's nothing crazy rare about it, I don't think. This is an early press for sure, but this is Clapton Unplugged. Man, I tore this up when I was young. Listened to this like crazy. I was playing some music down in Venezuela when I was a teenager, and no one spoke English. And there's a bunch of guys sitting around playing guitars, and one of them started playing Layla, and I could play the solo because I'd listened to it 1,000 times, you know. And it was like everybody was singing, and it was like language barriers were broken because of Eric Clapton. It was such a cool memory. But anyways, love this album. And had to hang on to it because I haven't seen a copy in a while. This is another one that came from that collection. This is the Best of Old Crow Medicine Show. No big deal. I really liked Old Crow Medicine Show when I was young. I saw them live a number of times, hung out with them a couple times. Really, really great band. Super, super talented dudes. Unbelievable. But I was really into them earlier on when I was younger, and I threw that on the other day in the shop. I was like, oh my gosh, this brings back memories. Such good stuff. This one, don't laugh. It's Metallica Garage Ink. This is one I had when it came out. I had on CD when I was young. What was it? 98? Yeah, that seems about right. I was, probably 10 or 12 when I got the CD, and just, I tore it up. I loved it. It was the only Metallica album I knew for a very long time. So, that's a cool one. This Mel Brown. This is, what's it called? Mel Brown's Fifth. This is a pretty cool promo copy. I talk about Mel Brown here and there. Every time I see a Mel Brown record, I pick it up. I absolutely love Mel Brown. On impulse, he's a fusion of jazz and blues. Just stupidly talented guitar player. Incredible stuff. You don't hear enough about him. Honestly, amazing player. This record has some real shreds in it. Super, super good stuff. This is one I was kind of shocked to find. A buddy of mine who watches this video from, I think he said South Carolina, he brought in a bunch of stuff he pulled out of his collection to sell to me. And this is one I was kind of surprised to find. This is a Solstice with Sam Cooke. This is just one I've been looking for ever since I watched that Sam Cooke documentary. It was on Netflix a couple years ago. I've been kind of looking for this, just early gospel with Sam Cooke on it. It's just cool. I love Sam Cooke. So that's a great one. And then this is one that someone came in and was like, dude, have you heard this record? And I was like, I don't think so. I've seen it 1,000 times, but I don't think I've ever put it on. This Jean-Luc Ponty. I know that's how you say it. It's probably not the Cosmic Messenger. This is an album I see all the time. And if it's in really good shape, you could probably get $3 for it, but a lot of times it ends up in the dollar bin. A lot of his albums end up in the dollar bin. They're not worth a lot of money. I put this on. Whoa. This is a cooker. Really good prog. Like prog influence, but it's a wild ride. So if you see this in the dollar bin, grab it. It's very good. Just wanted to throw that out there. Oh my gosh, I have so much more to talk about. So little time. Nah, I don't. It's not that much stuff. Okay. This is another one I found in a collection. It's in the shrink. P.F. Sloan. P.F. Sloan, really good early singer-songwriter along the lines of Bob Dylan, but just a little bit different. Really good stuff. Hardly ever see his albums. This one's in the shrink, and it's super, super clean. So I grabbed that one. Pretty cool record. Another Tom Waits I did not have. The Heart Attack and Vine. This is probably the first one I ever got, and I sold my collection 1,000 times. And I didn't have a copy. This one's pretty clean. Found this one yesterday, I think. And so I grabbed it and took it home, but I've been looking for that one for a while. Got a lot of time waits now. There's a few I'm missing, but not many. This is one that came in a couple days ago. Also, this is Who is Jill Scott? Words and Sounds Volume 1. This is one, a friend of mine, Kyle. I don't think you watch my videos, but if you do, holla. He's always telling me to listen to this album, and I never do. I don't know. I put a lot of things in my Apple library, and I plan to listen to it, and then a lot of things happen, and I don't. But today he was in the shop, and he's like, I'm here, you're here, the record's here. Put it on now. So I did, and it was very, very good. Really good stuff. I'm going to go back through and give it another listen, but this is an original press, so I'm going to take some time with it later. But I just got this. Someone brought it in. So from what I heard of it, I heard like one of the, one side of it, and I really liked it. So I'm going to definitely give that another listen. In with that actually came this record. This was Raphael, Sadiq, Instant Vintage. This is a really cool record. I've never heard of this before, but this is very modern soul hip-hop infused album. Double LP. I don't know a lot about this record. Like I said, I got it yesterday, listened to it once today, and was like pretty impressed. It was very good. So that's another one. Just if you're not into that, sorry. I know a lot of my people are like Psych and hard rock people, so I like to be very well-rounded. If it's good, I like it. Any type of music. This is another one, Neil Young, Homegrown. This came out a few months ago, 6 months ago, I don't know, early this year. I wasn't ordering any new inventory when it came out, so I totally missed the boat on it. Didn't even hear it. And been dying to hear it, been dying to get a copy, and finally they got replenished in the grand scheme of things, and I was able to get some copies for the shop and one for myself. This is an album that was released. It was not released. It was recorded. It was supposed to be like a companion piece or combo with Tonight's the Night. And for some reason, I think from what I heard, Neil Young had a listening party with both records listened to, and while he was listening, he just realized he couldn't release this part of it because he had just gotten divorced, and it was a really fresh personal lyrics, and he wasn't ready to release it. That's what I heard. But this was recorded in 1974, and it's really cool. I mean, it's that era of Neil Young. Like, how can you write so many songs that you can just like say, I don't like that album, throw it away, and like not. I mean, he has so many like unreleased albums and stuff. It's crazy. Like, he's just one of these people that just, songs just pour out of him. So, but this is a good record. I really enjoyed it. There's a couple weird ones on there. I think Florida, that track Florida, is just a dream he had. He's talking about a dream he had, and it's super weird. But you know me, I like weird stuff, so that's cool. This Deep Purple made in Japan. This is an original UK press. I didn't have a copy of it, and this is a really cool UK press. Came in the shop, so I kept it. Coming towards the end here. Love for Sale. I already had this, but guess what? White label promo. Had to keep it. So I'll be selling my old one. Putting that one in the old collecty. Getting a little loopy. It's 2 a.m. here. Last thing I want to talk about is this really cool, these Bob Dylan records I found, which I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, because I don't need them. Probably will sell them. But I just wanted to show them to you because you don't see them very often. This is Blonde on Blonde. You see that pretty often. But this is a promo stamp that is for governmental sale only. Here's one on Highway 61. Another one for governmental sale only. I had a few albums in this collection that I bought that were for governmental sale only, with those stamps. And I was like, what the heck is this? And from what I've seen them in the past before. I've heard about them. I've seen a couple. They're weird. They come along every once in a while. There are collectors that collect them for some reason, but these are both reissues. They're not the original Two Eyes or whatever. They're reissues, like late 70s reissues. So why? But I think for a spell there was batches of records that were sold on military bases, I believe. I believe that's what it is. I think that's what it is, if I remember correctly. But you guys tell me if you guys know about it. I just thought I'd open it up. So if anyone knows about these, this one's still in the shrink. It's pretty cool. If anyone, I didn't even notice this before. Look at this. The shrink, that sticker says Navy Exchange. So maybe there's like a Navy store or a, you know, whatever branch of the military it is had different stores that I'm just shooting from the hip here. I don't know. You guys tell me. But anybody knows any more about it, it seems like that's what it was. So these batches of records that will go, I've seen a Boston one that was that way, I think, one time before. But it seems like some albums from like the late 70s that were that way. So you guys tell me if you know any more about it than I do. Thank you guys for watching this video. We appreciate it so much. Always love to talk to you guys. This has been your weekly heavy rotation. Thanks for hanging with us. We'll get back on a weekly basis here soon. Peace.